Okay, Cuse fans, this is going to be an interesting game on Friday night. For the first time in our history, and for the first time in their history, the Stanford Cardinal are going to play in the Atlantic Coast Conference? Something's a little wrong there, but I mean, hey, that's the way it is with the economics of college football. The Pac-12 conference pretty much was broken up, with the exception of Oregon State and Washington State, and a lot of the other members scattered because, hey, so a lot of them wanted a more lucrative conference, a little bit more of the pie, a little bit more notoriety. Thing is, you gotta wonder, why would UCLA and USC and some of those schools want more notoriety? Oh, I guess, joining the Big Ten or joining any other conference. I mean, heck, that's where they want a bigger piece of the pie. And guess what? We get Stanford and Cal. And because they want to raise their notoriety again, SMU has also joined the ACC. A school in Texas joining an Atlantic Conference. Well, let me get back to what I was saying. The Syracuse and Stanford have had long, great histories when it comes to football. But you know what? They've never met on the gridiron. Yeah, and I mean Syracuse with all its great history. 44, Ben Schwartzwalder, all of that, Ernie Davis. You know, Stanford with its history. Glenn Pop Warner bringing some of his innovations to football to the West Coast. It's the first time Stanford and Syracuse meet. And I mean, Stanford has also a great history with its quarterbacks, Jim Plunkett, John Elway. And I mean, this is going to be an interesting game Friday night. Let's give those Stanford Cardinal a good ACC welcome. There, that's my welcome to the Stanford Cardinal. Welcome to the ACC. Hey, you're a Pacific Coast team. You're from the San Francisco Bay. But hey, I guess you want a little bit of the piece of the pie, don't you? Well, you're going to get a nice awakening coming to the ACC, Stanford. And Syracuse is going to help you with that welcome. Let's have another great game, Kyle McCord. Let's have another great game, defense. Syracuse looks like they're pretty good right now. Let's keep it going. Let's go Orange. And I'm going to go from talking about Syracuse to talking about Buffalo. Another great win over our arch rivals from Florida. Yeah. Do I detect the odor of fish? Yeah, it's coming out of the fryer. Some nice fillets. Yeah, a big 31-10 drubbing of Miami. But of course, there is another thing that warrants my concern. Yeah, I'm a Bills fan, and the thing is, I always love it when we squish the fish. But I don't like seeing problems happening for certain players. Tua Tagovailoa, yeah, I like to use a little bit of wordplay with his name and everything. But you know, right now, everybody better be concerned for his health. He took another pretty good knock to his noggin, colliding with Damar Hamlin. And again, he was knocked silly. And I mean, right now, yeah, he signed that extension. But you got to worry about his thing while going forward. Mentally and also with cognitive function. Of course, I had a little problem there trying to talk about him. But my cognitive function is pretty good, thank you. But, Tua, you better take a good long look at maybe hanging it up, buddy. Well, too many more hits to the noggin, and you're not gonna be viable. Your family needs you. The world needs you, and heck, your future pretty much could depend on if you get hit to the noggin again. And Tua, you better watch it. Well, whatever. Buffalo with a pretty darn good win. 31-10. And again, Allen showing that at times he doesn't need to be Superman. He just needs to be a great game manager. And of course, James Cook, he's starting to come into his own. 3 touchdowns. Plus, hey, Jamarcus Ingram, who was an unheralded member of the Bills when he came, especially out the practice squad, is showing he's become a viable defender, stepping up with 2 interceptions. Now, we got to come back home and play another team from Florida. Yes, Jacksonville comes up, and we got to give those Jaguars a little lesson in how to be pussycats, you know. Nice kitty. Meow. You know, we don't want them growling. We want them meowing, because we need them to act like nice pussycats. We need Trevor Lawrence to act like a pussycat, because, hey, he's got the hair for it. Let's go Buffalo. We're 2-0, and we're hoping to keep the momentum going. Now about the high schools. Yeah, it was an interesting opening weekend. Minders again showing that they're no style, no substance. Another year, another result. I mean, what's going on? Can't they teach great football there at Minders? What a drubbing they took against Palmac. But I mean, on the other hand, look at how Waterloo did. Dylan Caraballo showing that he could be a pretty good leader. But of course, the other thing, there's the discipline problem. Waterloo left like 3 or 4 touchdowns off the board because, hey, they committed stupid penalties. I mean, heck, they went to what is actually Death Valley in the Finger Lakes, Nick Dercola Field over in Clyde. And I mean, usually you go to Nick Dercola Field, you don't come out alive. But it shows Waterloo's got a viable team, and this could be a possible down year for Clyde Savannah. Yeah, Clyde Savannah doesn't have too many down years, but we'll see. I mean, usually they're the big bad, but you know what's of the Finger Lakes. But Clyde Savannah kind of looks like they're a little, I kind of wonder if that whole controversy there with the kids has possibly affected Clyde Savannah. Oh well, big win for Waterloo. And let's keep it going, Tigers. And I mean, Minders, I'm kind of wondering how you're going to be the rest of the season. It seems to me, no style, no substance. But I mean, there's 2 other things that have kind of tripped my trigger this week. 1, Trump again. Let's just say someone was waiting in the bushes. And I mean, heck, that's 2 in 9 weeks. Somebody has tried to assassinate Trump. 9 weeks ago, that tragic event in Pennsylvania where he got grazed on his ear. I mean, what's going on? What's going on with the security? The Secret Service. They're not so secret anymore. The big secret is, what are they training these guys to do? Act like Gomer Pyle around Donald Trump? You know, hey, doesn't matter. He's a former president of the United States. You gotta make sure that he's got the utmost protection. Because, hey, we need this to be a big showdown in early November against Kamala Harris. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting election, for sure. But look, hopefully he's there in one piece. What's going on here? Last but not least, Sean Combs being arrested in a federal court. He's in federal custody, as apparently he isn't the great mogul that he is. Yeah, he's built a brand, but of course there seems to be some shenanigans going on, especially in the way he treats women. But I kind of wonder, did Sean Combs go to the bathroom? Pee, did he? No, he crapped. I'm Ken Haas, and that's my story this week.